Hello to you. We say you be our wonderful viewer and the watchers on Top Christ radio and television where your matter now we own. The right to health inside Nigeria, they see them as one very big human right under different laws and international agreements then. But inside Nigeria, for you to enforce this right of health, now dear confusion day. Sake of say our Nigerian constitution, they call them non-justiciable directive. And as today now, if you check wetin dey happen more inside the country of recent, you go to see say they don't they do this thing where they call medical negligence. And that now why on top Know Your Rights program today, we bring Ogbonge lawyer, we go come to educate us on top wetin we need to know about our rights when it come to matter of health, matter of hospital, matter of medical, so that you go know the way forward. To take this waka with me, I get Ogbonge lawyer Sam Chidi Nnaji, senior partner for OBN attorneys, to follow this matter. Sam, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Princess.
Okay, so you don't hear wetin I start to talk about when we yarn this matter. We talk about the rights to health inside this country, and we don't mention say our law book talk say it is non-justiciable. For person now where they watch us and they listen to us, when we say a right they non-justiciable, wetin we mean exactly?
Okay, when a right is non-justiciable, it means that you can't go to court to enforce it. Yeah, except where there is a legislation that provides expressly for that right to be justiciable.
Okay, so when it comes to this right to health now inside Nigeria, where do we really fall?
Okay, right to health, yes. I don't want to say the notion is wrong, but right to health is justiciable. Right to health or health right is justiciable.
So on top health matter, we fit carry and go court?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. We have a lot of acts in that regards.
Okay, so when it now comes to health now, wetin be the rights them way country people get?
Okay, the right to health, first of all, we have to look at the statutes in Nigeria that provides for these rights. So we have the National Health Act. We also have we have our VAP. We call it VAP. That's the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act.
Okay.
It has a little provided there. We have the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act. It has some of them provided there. So the right is, first of all, a patient is the consumer of health rights. So who is a patient? A patient is someone who has called at the hospital to enjoy or to assess some medical treatment. So this patient has rights, and those rights are protected and they are enforceable. Number one is right to be disclosed with the information with respect to his health and what type of treatments they are going to administer to him.
They use baby gig to talk this thing. Remember, say that grassroots with the target.
Okay.
So you say the person get already when would they talk right to health? Now the patient, when would they talk about be the country person where he go hospital for some medical type treatment. So now their rights be this.
This is the right you're talking about.
Okay, so you say the right to go to hospital and they go test you, tell you what they do. I mean, what you explain with that,
that's
right?
That's the number one right. You have the right to know. You must be informed the type of treatment to be administered to you. And you equally have another right to refuse to take the treatment. So right to health or health right is restrictive. It is the right enjoyed by a person who has entered the hospital to seek medical treatment. So this person is called the patient, and the professionals administering the treatment are the doctors or medical practitioners who are there.
Okay.
Yes.
So you get the right to be told what they do you, the treatment they will give you, and you also get the right to say, I know one treatment.
Yes.
So meaning that situation will be come up some months ago about a lady who even come out raise money.
Oh yes.
Yes, for blood.
They did go
for
for
health.
me
Yes,
for
when she
blood
can't
transfusion.
yes, they can't say they won't give blood. She can't say her belief no support that blood matter.
Yes.
So then you cannot force her.
You can't force her for blood transfusion. You can't, even if it's a matter of life or death. It is the patient's right to say, I don't want this type of treatment, or my faith is against it, or my culture is against it, and you let the patient, you have to respect that right.
And nobody bears consequence if the thing can't lead to where we don't know.
No, The doctors know what to do. They'll give you the consent form or whatever form you're supposed to sign. They will have to keep that one for record purposes. But you have the right to refuse treatment. You have the right to know the content of every med. In fact, it goes down to the fact that before a person is administered a medicine, we in the hospital we don't get to see that. But before you are administered with any type of medication, they must let you know the content of the medication, even if it's an injection. By the time they want to draw the injection and all that, and they must tell you this is what it contains, this is what it does. And as a matter of fact, they're supposed to even ask you for a medical record if you have been taking treatment elsewhere, for them to know if you are allergic to the particular type of treatment. So, but what we see in Nigeria is that you are wheeled into the hospital or you walk into the hospital by yourself and they diagnose you. They may not even, some doctors may not even tell you what they found out from the diagnosis. Some of them who are now beginning to do it, they will tell you and then recommend the type of medication. Some on their own, they will assume the type of medication. They will only tell you, okay, this is what you're suffering. This is the medication we are going to give you. Come tomorrow, take injection in the morning. Come in the evening, take injection. You understand? But they don't go ahead to tell you this particular drug or this particular medicine contains this and this and this. But it is your right. But most of the times, when you don't ask, those things will not come out.
Okay, so now you're right to ask, say, wetin you won't give me, wetin and wetin dey inside this thing, and then if you want to collect, if you don't want, you will
Yes.
say no.
Yes.
That one now dey on you.
Yes.
Okay, what other rights do
You also have rights to confidentiality. Your data and your record as a patient is a matter of confidentiality.
It's a
It's a
secret.
matter of
Now only
secret.
you.
It's between you and your doctor. Your doctor or whoever is administering the medical treatment you're taking is not supposed to disclose it to a third party. It is your right to have it kept secret. Whatever it is that is wrong with you. You understand?
Yes.
You have that right for it to be kept secret. Unless, with your consent, it can be released to another person. Or maybe by a court order. Of course, if it is required to be produced by a court order, nobody will say no. It will be produced.
Okay, so now on this part now, the talk, let's say husband and wife now, then
Yes.
come, maybe to come do a test.
Okay.
So let's say they don't find pikin since.
Yes.
And the two, both of them, they do, not be me, they can't go do test. Maybe they
Yes.
can't discover, say, the man not fit produce sperm. Or say, the woman don't do something with
Okay.
damage some part of her.
Yes.
So the medical people not fit bring the husband and wife together and tell them wetin dey, or tell them their result of wetin be their problem. Or they go just tell the woman her own different, tell the man her own different.
Okay. Yes. Of course, you even as a spouse, you have the independent right to know what is happening to you. If you don't want your husband to know about it, it is a breach of data privacy that the doctor communicates to your husband. That is the truth. That is what the law says. But now, in the case of couple like this, they usually come together if they are coming together.
Mm-hmm.
And you address the two of them together. And you tell the woman, okay, or the man, it can be anybody. Issue of fertility can be both sides. Yeah, you tell the man or the woman, okay, should I go on and discuss this with you? Are you comfortable with your spouse? They say, yes, no problem, go ahead.
So if you now say, no, I want to collect my result, only me.
The doctor, I've seen a case where the doctor will excuse the other person first and tell you, okay, this is what I want to discuss with you. Do you want your spouse here? That is the correct professional thing to do. Yes, that is the correct professional thing to do. You excuse the person first, or you discuss it inside before the other person comes in. So it is what the other spouse wants, the patient spouse, what the patient spouse wants the other person to know, that the person will know.
Okay,
that
so
is the
any
standard.
other rights?
There are a couple of rights. There's also the right to choose the type of medication, the type of brand. This time, let me say brand. You might have Panadol.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's Emzo Panadol.
Mm-hmm.
There's I'm not advertising for anybody. I'm not saying anyone is the best, but you might say, please don't give me this one. I don't want this particular brand. Get me. And it is the patient's right to go for the brand he wants. So there are a couple of rights there, you understand? So you can find these rights in the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act. You have the National Rights Act, National Health Act rather.
Mm-hmm.
The Constitution did not explicitly provide for health rights, in quotes. You understand? But then, Chapter 4 of the Constitution provides a couple of rights, which right to life is number one there. So, if your right to life is affected by virtue of the medication you are taking, it has affected your right to life.
Okay, but if also your right to life, they threatened by the fact that you refuse a form of treatment or medication,
Yes.
how you come marry the two together?
I don't get that.
Okay.
You refusing
Now,
to take a
yes,
particular procedure.
and then it can't lead to the loss of the right to life.
It is your right to life. So it is you who is dropping your right to life. You say you don't want it anymore. By virtue of the
yes. If I go ahead and take that treatment, and it now come and affect my right to life,
yes,
the person will do now become guilty, become in trouble.
You enter in, you put yourself in trouble immediately. Because if I am a doctor now and I administer a pattern of medication the person initially said I don't want,
Yes,
by reason of faith or tradition or culture or anything, yes, and I go ahead to administer it, maybe the person would have died, and I say no, I want to save this person. I will now transmit blood. Yes. Where the person already told me that I don't want blood transfusion. The person has survived it, but the person has the right to take it to court. Yes, I will tell you that you breached my health rights.
Okay, sorry, make I understand very well.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, now I look, say, you did die, and I take the one way that they call Hippocratic oath.
Yes.
Say I go do everything within my power to make sure, say, I save a life. Yes. And I see you say you did die, they go. Yes, you don't talk, say you know want blood, or you don't talk, say, they know they do operation for your side. But I look and say, my conscience not gonna allow you die.
Yes.
So I now go ahead and disobey that your order, and I brought you back to life. Or I did treatment where you say you don't want, but it end up healing you, giving you time to live and everything. You get the right to drag me to court.
Yes.
Say I disobey your rights.
Yes. You disrespected the patient's rights. That is the law. The law is not about your conscience or your morality this is what the law has said. This person has the right to choose whether this particular thing would be administered as treatment. When he says, I don't want it, even when his refusal will lead to his death, respect it. But disclose the consequences. That if you don't take this treatment, you will die. You will lose your life. And the person says, no problem. If my God will not heal me, let me die. If some people will tell you, if I perish, I perish. You understand? So it is what it is.
Okay, coming to the main focus of our yarn today, now this issue of medical negligence.
Okay.
In all of this, the Nigerian Health Act,
National
Health Act, the FCCP Act, and even the Constitution, and then the VAP Act, all of the laws, shall we don't talk about, we get sections on top health matter. They mention anything regarding medical negligence?
Yes. Our National Health Act mentions medical negligence. The VAP does not have explicit provision of medical negligence because the VAP itself was not targeted at medical practitioners. But then, of course, there's a little form of health rights that is involved, but it is not targeted at. Every law has its purpose. VAP is violence against persons prohibition. It is meant to prohibit violence against persons, specifically at the domestic level. Violence from husband to the wife, violence from the wife to the husband, violence from parents towards their children, violence from family members and then from other people who are non-family members. You understand? So that is what it is specifically targeted at. But the National Health Act deals with the health sector with respect to the practice of the professionals who are in the sector, with respect to the consumers who are the patients. Mind you, that is why the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act also has a little of that, because it deals with consumers also. And a health product consumer who is a patient comes under that act also. You understand? So now, medical negligence, I would have to differentiate it from medical malpractice.
Please, go ahead.
They are not the same thing. Medical negligence is an act of mistake or inadvertence You understand?
Wetin be inadvertence?
Is that somebody knows the right thing to do and has taken conscious steps to do those right things, but eventually the result didn't turn out as expected. Or maybe he knows the right thing to do. He started doing what he is doing, thinking it is that right thing, but then turned out not to be that right thing. So you see that the person knows, as a doctor, he has been trained, is qualified, he has his license. That is number one. And then he knows the procedure to be applied for this particular type of ailment, and he has set out to do it. But the end result didn't become what he has set out to achieve.
So if I understand you now, you feel say medical negligence now. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is above
nobody is
mistake.
perfect. Yes.
In a situation of nobody is above mistake.
That is it.
Now be medical
that is
negligence.
medical negligence. Yes.
Nobody
so we can say
above
it is now nobody is above mistake. You understand? That's what it is. Medical malpractice is that there is an act of misconduct involved.
Koro misbehave.
There is a misconduct there. You have entered a theater to conduct a medical procedure while you are intoxicated. Maybe you have had a bottle of beer or two, and you are entering the medical inside the theater to conduct a medical procedure. There is a misconduct already. So even though you are not tipsy, even though you are not intoxicated, but you are found wanting that you had a bottle of two of beer before you enter the theater, and eventually something happens. If you had your bottle of beer and you enter a theater, and you are able to treat the person well, the person comes out and is fine, nobody will make a case out of it. Even if you had drank 12 bottles, nobody will make a case out of it. You understand? But it becomes a problem that something awry, something not palatable has come out of your conduct, and they check it and they see that you enter the theater intoxicated. There's a malpractice there already. There's something unprofessional that you have done. So any act that is a result of it, which is something that is prohibited or unlawful, you are already guilty for medical malpractice. That is where you are going against your Hippocratic oath. You are not going against your Hippocratic oath explicitly when you are found wanting for negligence. Yes, because there's even a defense for medical negligence. There is no defense for medical malpractice. Defense for medical negligence could be act of God. Defense for medical negligence could be there's something they call contributory negligence, where the victim contributed to what happened to him. You understand? Stay this way, the person refused. I want to stay the other way. So in the process, something happened, and the doctor will be like, he contributed to what happened to him. It's a principle in law, contributory negligence. You have contributed to the negligence that led to your problem. So, but malpractice, what evidence are you going to give? What made you to go and drink? What made you, okay, for instance, you know that doctor-patient relationship, there is a presumed undue influence. Yes, that's the truth. There is a presumed lawyer-client relationship, there's presumed undue influence. Priest, laity, or congregation relationship, there's presumed undue influence already. So in such a situation, the law believes that you are on the advantage. So you should you are the one who is expected to play the bigger person. So when, as a doctor, you are having a amorous relationship with a patient, and this patient, something happens along the line, you are going to answer for it, because it's already a misconduct on your own part. It's not a patient who is, let's say the patient is married to you or your sister. It's not even advisable, because there's conflict of interest when you are treating somebody who's related to you. So you allow another doctor to take care of it. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, I do. Okay,
so that's the divergence, the difference I wanted
medical
to.
negligence
and medical malpractice.
So now we'll come back now to these recent things now we don't happen inside the country. Make we take the situation where somewhere in Yobe some time ago,
yes,
a family said their pikin, the belly, the pain and appendix. They reach hospital, they say they go commode the guy kidney.
Yes.
Show the people, then go through and not knowing say now the wahala be that the thing begin to have swelling leg, many other things then. And by the time when they go capture and it was too late, the guy died.
Yes.
I've been at the one of recent where a man come out to share the experience of how they forget scissors inside in wife belle?
Mm.
Or are we going to now go to Lagos and discuss the popular writer Chimamanda Pikin situation? At least these are the three where I know say it somehow jump up when all
the
of
thing
this
is everywhere.
Because
Nigerians are beginning to realize that we can actually talk about these things.
Beautiful. So
it's been happening all the while.
When you come to all these things now, based on your explanation and way you explain now, going by some things the way they look, are we going to say these ones now medical negligence have been a medical malpractice?
Okay, yes, some of them are. Okay, the issue of somebody going to the hospital, complain of appendix, and you remove the person's, what do you call it? Kidney. Is pure medical malpractice. So
we no go call it negligence.
How is it negligence? You, a trained doctor, you don't know the difference between appendix and kidney? Are the two organs looking alike? Are they Siamese twins? Do they look alike? You go there and remove kidney, and you will leave the appendix that is killing the person. It's pure medical malpractice. Because you have to explain how it happened. In my wildest dream, it's not possible that I will complain to you of appendix. You agree that my problem is appendix, not that you disagreed. You agreed that my problem is appendix. And you gave me a date. Okay, come, we will have to remove the appendix. And I got to your hospital and you ended up removing the kidney. What explanation? How does it sound? It's a pure malpractice because there's a total careless, I don't want to call it carelessness. There's a total disregard for human life. In this instance, there's total disregard. You didn't set out to even do something professional in the first place. You just okay, bring. And most of the time, it's the child of a poor person. Because you wouldn't disregard the life of somebody that you know that if anything happens, you'll be held accountable. So that disregard is what has made this one now medical malpractice. Medical negligence, Chimamanda's case, I haven't got the full detail of what happened there because they are not actually being so open. I've read online, I've checked a couple of places. They are not actually being open as to what happened. Remember that somebody came out to caution, a lawyer, I'm trying to recall his name, came out to caution everybody not to give this a media trial. Yes. So I think that was what made them withdraw a little. Don't give it a media trial. Allow investigation to be conducted so that when the matter goes to court, it will be determined on its merits.
Okay, so this is what should be done. If situations happen like this for hospital, the first thing to do now to investigate.
Yes.
Not be just to call them medical negligence or call them anything.
No.
The first thing now to investigate. Who gets the work of to do this investigation?
Okay, first of all, they have the medical council. I think that's the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, right? If I got it, is it the medical or is it the dental? So these bodies have investigative arms. They have panels they can set up. You understand? File your complaint there and follow it up. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has a panel also. I think a tribunal. They have a tribunal also that hear issue of consumer health violation. It's a full court. Let me call it a full court because they sit, they have composition and constitution of the panelists, and they sit and they hear the cases. They undergo proceedings, and then they pass their judgment and verdict. So these bodies are there to take your complaint and work on it. Also, you have the right to file a complaint to the police. The police can still come in and conduct. The beautiful thing is that the police is a holistic institution. Forget that our police system is not, we are not there yet, but the police is a holistic, is an institution of its own. The police has the legal, has the medical, has the sports, have almost everything. Now they have a radio. You understand? So the police, just like the military, they have almost everything. So if you bring issue of medical negligence, yes, they have medical team. They have people in that field that will be able to analyze and say, yes, there was negligence here and here. Yes, the police, they have a lot of things there that they are not, sometimes they're not even using. You understand? They have handwriting analysts. If you go to the police now, apply to analyze a particular handwriting if it is your own. Maybe somebody has forged a document, handwritten document. The police have a department that can analyze it for you. So they have a lot of specialists. You can equally take your complaint there. Now, The problem we're having in Nigeria is that people don't like some stuff like this, these medical things coming out in the public. The first question family members will ask you is, if you press charges or if you take up this complaint, will this person come back to life? Because the ultimate thing there is that the person died. If the person is alive when we are talking, Chimamanda's child is dead. The woman in Kano, who they found surgical scissors in her belly, is dead.
But sorry, before we even continue, that
You understand?
surgical scissors thing, you go call them negligence or you call them malpractice, because how you take forget scissors inside during like how?
It's Princess is unheard of. People used to hear these things as if it's a Nollywood scripted something. It's happening live and direct in this our community, in our country. Now, that's, if you ask me, I will tell you it's pure medical malpractice. But until the investigation is conducted and they know the mental state of the doctor at the time he was, because I don't know what it was they were trying to do to the woman, the procedure. I didn't bother to go read up on that because it evokes a lot of sentiment. So until they conduct their investigation and they find out where what happened went wrong, they'll be able to say, okay, this is negligence or this is it's unbecoming. Now I'm going to tell you a story that a case that I'm handling. It's a live case. I'm involved. I'm the lawyer in the case. I will be very anonymous with the hospital. I'll be anonymous with the doctor's name because we are still discussing. He is begging. He's pleading. We've had series of meetings. He is begging. In fact, he has even quoted an amount of money he's willing to give, but it doesn't make sense. So this particular client of mine went to the hospital for a procedure. She went to conduct. I think she was having problems. She went. They checked her. Then they recommended hysterectomy.
Yes.
Yeah, the removal of the womb and
yes,
reproductive
yes.
organs there. So she agreed. I think it was fibroid that took her there. So eventually the procedure was conducted and they left a towel, very big tip towel.
That towel they used to clean
Yeah,
blood.
yeah, they use it to clean
They
fluid.
left the towel inside of
A
her.
towel that can dry up your body. It's big. It's not even.
That's how the inside is. You can
Yeah.
hold the towel inside.
Till now, I can't imagine it. So they left this towel in this woman's body and stitched her up. So what was happening to her stopped. But she started noticing another thing. She was discharging smelly liquids from her body. She kept on buying sanitary pads. Every day, she could finish like 5-6 sanitary pads in a day because the thing was so foul smelling and she couldn't go out. She was confined within the house because the odor was too much. She went back to the same doctor, complained. The doctor examined her, checked her, told her you are fine. Recommended, prescribed some medications. She went, bought them, started taking them. Nothing was happening.
For how long?
For 8 months.
Oh.
So we even thank God that she didn't lose her life in the process. So she kept on going from one medication to another. They will recommend the stronger one. Take this one is stronger, maybe infection somewhere. Something was already in her body, eating her up, producing pus. She was discharging pus. So eventually she took counsel, she sought counsel with a couple of persons. I told her, leave that doctor.
Go another place.
Check another person. She went to another hospital, which I will keep anonymous also. A more experienced doctor. The person checked, diagnosed, did everything, and then told her there's a foreign body inside of you. And we need to get it out. How they got it out is another, different procedure. When they brought it out, she saw it. First of all, she didn't know she had been carrying something inside of her for months. And immediately they removed it, her problem stopped. The discharge stopped and all that. So we were consulted, we looked into it, and I was like, how? We wrote to the hospital. The doctor reached out to her immediately and came to see her in her house and begged and begged. And in his 30-something years of practice, it has never happened. But then how do you ascertain? How are you sure that it has never happened? Because, of course, maybe the other victims didn't survive. Or the other victims didn't call at another hospital to double check. You understand? Because some people will be like, this man, maybe he's the best in this.
We
came
know
highly
am.
recommended.
Yes, no be today.
If my problem persists that time and I don't have money to go elsewhere, the person will be there until maybe he will just die just like that. And we don't do posthumous checks, all those autopsy and all that most of the time because our belief as Africa is part of our problem.
God
They
give,
will
God
ask you,
take.
if you go and conduct this and find out what killed him, will the
Bring
person
him
come back to
back.
life? So they'll tell you, leave the dead to rest in peace. So you are leaving the dead to rest in peace. You are enabling somebody who is not supposed to be doing rubbish to continue doing it. So it's until you bring it to light. It is either they suspend him, they punish him, they fine him, or they revoke his license if he's that bad. You understand? So it's replete, it's everywhere. I lost an uncle to medical negligence, to a government-owned hospital. My mom's younger brother. He had accident, he was rushed to the hospital. He had open wounds. They treated some of the open wounds, forgot to treat the one at the back because he was lying on it.
It's back.
And then from there, he contracted infection. He died of sepsis, not the accident this time. It was infection that now killed him. So when I wanted to take it off, everybody was like, will it bring him back? Where is it? So what I did was I wrote to that hospital. I told them what they did. Look at the state of this man when he came. Look at what the medical report is telling us now that he's dead. So they refunded us the money. That was the only thing. It's a government hospital in this Abuja. They refunded us the money. So I told his wife to go and take it. The wife brought her account. We paid her the money. All the money they spent in that hospital. Just for us not to. And that's because the people with me are not encouraging me.
Because
I
it
want,
was left to you, you
yeah,
would have allowed it.
left to me, they will pay for it. Because now it's not just about my uncle. He will not come back to life. But you need to sit up to forestall this kind of thing happening again. There are other people. This particular hospital is big. And they have children's section. They have this section. And how about the kids who are being treated there? So that's why Nigerians need to, come open with all these kind of things.
Okay, so according to law now, when you build maybe a case, like when this negligence or malpractice don't happen, waiting be like the evidences, the exhibits, the things them way you maybe as a patient, especially need to gather, you get to do your case.
Okay, when you suspect there's a case of negligence, okay, like in the instance I just told you of, the client I'm still handling her case now.
Yes.
Without even telling them, because when she went to the other hospital, they told her what happened, brought out the stuff and gave to her and all that. I told her to keep everything. Write to the hospital, the ones that consider this negligence. Write to them. Tell them to give you your medical report. She said, I said, it's all right. Right. They know.
Yeah.
So she wrote to them. She didn't even write as much. She just sent the man a text message. Please, doc, I need my medical history, my record and everything. The doctor instructed his people. They prepared it and had it delivered to her. We read it. We saw what happened to her, what she went to the hospital for. We now applied to the second hospital. Please give us your own reports of what happened and what you treated. They now wrote down everything. We found this in your body. This, that. We took the two. It's evidence enough that another professional has backed up the claim that this thing was found in this woman's body. So we kept it. We now got pictures of the stuff. They made a video. They recorded everything. We kept it. Then we wrote to the hospital and we told them, this is the quantity of evidence we have. This is the weight of. So the man didn't even put up a defense at all. I appreciate the step he took. By immediately, the day he got that letter, he got the address of this woman and rushed down there with one of his assistants. They went there to beg. They just went there to beg him. Will not take it away.
So now, when does criminal, because, this medical negligence, all my parties already talk now.
Okay.
Is it like a criminal offense, or it gets where they go down investigate, reach, where they will come later look and say, yes, an offense has been committed?
Yes. Criminal malpractice can result to, medical malpractice could result to a criminal prosecution.
Criminal.
Yes.
Not civil.
It could be civil, it could be criminal. One, if investigation is conducted and they found out, it depends on the outcome of your conduct. If the outcome of your conduct leads to death, it could be criminal and it could be prosecuted. for manslaughter or attempted murder. Yes, it's as severe as that, because someone has lost his life, and he didn't lose his life out of negligence on your own part. He lost his life out of malpractice.
Okay, but
Do you know that they administer expired drugs on patients? That is malpractice. It's not negligence. How could you bring an expired drug? I have another story. I met a friend of mine that we did primary school together. His younger brother also did the same primary school. So we are just conversing. He told me that his younger brother just wedded. I said, oh, so they spoke on phone. When they were speaking, I was like, is that your brother? Why is he not talking? Because the guy was just making, I don't know how he was understanding his brother. So he told me, yeah, that the guy, I didn't know. I said, I didn't know. He said, after we left primary school, that the guy took ill. He was admitted in the hospital and they gave him an expired drug. So he lost his speech. The guy he can't talk well now. He's always making sound like a dumb person.
And his
But
medicine,
he hears.
his medication.
It's medication. And if you see this guy, very tall, very big. Now he doesn't talk. So that's medical malpractice. Because how could you? Is it that you didn't check it to see that it is expired? Or that you saw that it's expired, but you are hoping and praying that it will work? You have endangered the life of another person. So it's malpractice, it's not negligence. That could lead to criminal prosecution. And you could be going to jail.
But with all of those things now, plenty things, both the one we don't hear and the one we never hear, we don't come out now. Do you think some of this punishment or some of these consequences then, they enough to stop them? And what can we do to make sure, say, because like you said now, maybe you won't stand up, follow up. Family members will be like, God give, God take, allowing rest in peace. Or some other ones go talk, say, since you don't come beg, you know, like we they beg where we're
yeah, we beg very well.
You get. What can we do to make people hold responsible? Because like we they talk, if it not even be because of me,
yes,
if it be because of another person,
yes.
So what can we do? And these punishments, the way you talk, say they can sanction you,
yes,
they might take your license, or are they enough?
The punishments are not enough, to be honest. But then that's just about what we can do. Is either they revoke the license of the culprit, they suspend you for a while, they will leave your license for you, but you'll be suspended from practice for a while, or they will fine you. You pay, some amount of money as fine, and then pay compensation. Also, there's compensation. Even in the federal competition and consumer protection, there's compensation. You understand? So, but all these things are not enough. But as it is, that's what we have. You understand? But they are not enough. And why I say they are not enough is because we are, as a country, we are all complicit. You understand? Starting from the government and the government stakeholders, the private sector and private sector stakeholders, we are all complicit. Because you have people in this country importing substandard goods, substandard medicine. You understand? So you cannot say it is now the sole responsibility of the government. The responsibility of the government there is that we have NAFDAC, who should ascertain the veracity of this medicine before it is imported, even before it goes to the counter or the shelf. Now, if NAFDAC doesn't do its job, these bad citizens bring it in, either pay bribe and have their way, it enters the market, and then it climbs onto the shelf. And then you have a doctor who is not well qualified by reason of the type of university we have. You have professors that don't understand the course they are teaching, but they are professors. So how did you become a prof? You don't understand what you are teaching, but you're a prof. Professors of mechanical engineering, they don't repair their cars, they take it to a roadside mechanic. Professors of medicine and all this don't treat themselves. They consult doctors. So you have a whole lot of problem to deal with in this country. Now, there is the government who is supposed to provide facilities, medical student facilities in the faculties. They don't provide it, either by reason of somebody has stolen the money because it's budgeted. Either somebody has stolen the money at the top, or the money has come down and probably got to the university, and the VC or people close to the VC has siphoned it. So at the end of the day, they will go and get some of these faculties are using fairly used second-hand material. They will go and get second-hand materials and put in the lab. I heard a story. I didn't confirm it, but I heard it from my friend who went to the university together. Somebody, another student of microbiology, came to their own department, begging to use their equipment to conduct his own research. That they didn't have a single one in their department.
And this is like a practical course.
Yes, and they contributed money to buy their own, so they refused that guy from using it because they contributed money to buy government facility for their own training. They said no, people should contribute money and get your own equipment for your own lab practice and all that. So where do we start from now? You have the government, you have the people, you have the normal private sector, you have it's everywhere.
So, but if we dey go by wetin you dey talk, so Oga Sam, e mean now say even if we know our rights, even if we know what to do, even if we know say we suppose gather evidence, we suppose follow this matter for court,
Yes.
e get a possibility say this medical negligence and by extension medical malpractice fit no end anytime soon.
No, it's not ending anytime soon. I'll be lying to you if I say otherwise.
So wetin we fit do to at least reduce or begin to make sure say they sit up and are held accountable?
First of all, you don't even become a victim before you start looking for who to hold accountable. Now, by not being a victim, I pray to God that you make enough money so you'll be able to access quality healthcare. Yeah. So if you have enough money to afford quality healthcare, your problem is 70% solved. But for the citizen who doesn't have that much to access those expensive quality healthcare, their life is in the hands of God. Because if you go there and Nigeria happens to you, sorry to use that cliche, but we used to say Nigeria has happened. If Nigeria happens to you, the only thing you can get if you are alive is don't keep quiet. That's the only thing we can tell you. Loud it. If it's possible, use every social media platform. And if possible, engage a lawyer. Yeah, although our services as lawyers is expensive also. But some lawyers can take some matters pro bono. We have some young lawyers forum, Gariki branch. We did quite a lot of pro bono services. Yes, but then pro bono services are not readily available everywhere because most lawyers went to school and went to law school, and by the time you calculate the cost of going through these institutions, you'll be like, I can't be doing pro bono all the time. Me too, I need money. You understand? Law is a very expensive profession. You buy books, you keep buying books, you don't stop. They pass laws, they do new books, they author. So you spend more than half of what you're earning on books to keep yourself updated. You understand? So you cannot get there doing pro bono all the time.
All right now. So Sam, in conclusion for everything we don't talk about today, I've been waiting for your final words on the issue of this medical negligence, medical malpractice, and then the rights we people get when it comes to health.
Okay, my final note is let every media in Nigeria, whether it's the mainstream, the social media and all that, let them make sure, even if it's part of their social corporate responsibility, let them inculcate awareness of rights generally. Human rights are inalienable rights. When they say inalienable, it is a right you cannot take. If you take it away from human being, the person ceases to be a human being. So they are rights which is innate. It is inside of you. You are born with it. It is not conferred on you by any government or anybody. And these rights are inalienable. They cannot be taken away. Once they take it away from you, from human being, you become another thing. So these rights shouldn't be joked with. The media and private sector or government, they should try as much as possible to make the awareness go out there. If you know better, you will do better. Now, when the people know that they have these rights and they know that they can enforce that right, they will start taking actions. They will start becoming responsible. This thing has happened to me. I know it is my right. They will start talking. They will ask the doctor, why did you do this to me? You're not supposed to do this to me. Even if the doctor wants to confuse you, you already know you have the right. You could call somebody. This doctor said this is right, but is it right? The person could tell you, no, it's not right. So from there, you have known that the doctor lied to you. So it has escalated already. Now, when this thing goes out there in the public and it's everywhere, just like I'm enjoying it now that recently Nigerians are opening up, a lot of doctors will sit up. I don't promise you that the medical negligence or malpractice will go away anytime soon. But you see the awareness that is going on now. You see people coming out to talk. It's going to curb it.
Right.
It's going to reduce it.
Thank you very much, Sam Chidi Nnaji, that now lawyer and the senior partner for
OBN,
OBN.
Ode Bello and Nnaji.
Oh, okay.
OBN
OBN
attorneys.
attorneys.
Thank
Thank you. Say you stop by and then you carry us worker on top the awareness to take now our rights when it comes to body matter issues, and
Yes.
also on top all these medical mistakes. Then you don't tell us the difference between medical negligence
Yes.
and medical
Medical
malpractice.
malpractice.
And then also you said a lot. You could be louder, not look
Yes.
like say allow the dead to rest in peace. If you're not doing it for yourself, do one for fellow Nigerian.
That's correct.
Yes, so you don't hear our patients for Nigeria get plenty of rights when law they protect them. And when you come to body matter, we get the National Health Act 2014, we get the Medical and Dental Practitioners Act, we get the Patients Bill of Rights, where is in a Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, the champion arm, and they give rights like when you come to emergency care, and like Oga Nnaji say you need to give carry go before you collect any treatment. Overall, with the right to health, where they're protected in principle through different instruments and interpretations, then the full use still be a big challenge because of some system issues and the gap of implementation. But knowing your rights now still be the first step for you to ensure accountability in the healthcare sector. My name na Princess Aniana, and this now where we go wrap up Know Your Rights for today. Join us next time for another wonderful edition. Until then, we dey on all social media platforms at Christ Said Radio TV. Like us, follow us, share our pages, and your own no go lost. Our website na www.christsaidradioandtv.com. Till I come your way again, continue to stay informed, continue to know your rights, and may God continue to bless you and bless Nigeria.